Good morning, dear students. Welcome to Geo class. We will continue chapter number 3, that is drainage system. In this chapter, yesterday we have discussed about the Indian drainage system, and that Indian drainage system has divided in various bases on the basis of discharge of water, on the basis of size of watershed and drainage basin, on the basis of origin. I hope that topic is clear to you. Next topic is the drainage system of India. Now we will discuss in detail about some of the major rivers of India like Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra and major peninsular rivers like Godavari, Mahanadi, Kaveri, Krishna. So before that we have to see first the Himalayan drainage, how the system and the pattern in which the rivers flow in Himalaya regions and the evolution of Himalayan drainage, how it evolved. First, so Himalayan drainage system, it's evolved through a very long geological history, means it took millions of years to evolve and come in this system. Why? Because we have already discussed about the distribution of ocean and continent. In thus, we have seen that when the Indian plate collided with the Eurasian plate, that resulted into the formation of Himalayas. And after Himalayas, the river Himalayan drainage system started. So Himalayan drainage systems major rivers are Ganga, Indus and Brahmaputra river basin. Okay, these rivers are called as perennial. Why it is called as perennial or what is the meaning of perennials means that river contain waters 365 days in a year. They are perennial Sadabahar rivers. Why they are perennial? They are not seasonal because they get the water from the glaciers, from the melting of snow, as well as from the precipitations. And this is the reason when the precipitations increases, that results into the floods. You can easily relate it with the current situation. Brahmaputra is causing floods in Assam, and many rivers like Kosi and tributaries of Ganga are causing floods in Bihar. So Himalayan rivers, every Himalayan rivers in this Ganga, Brahmaputra, they are perennial in nature. They are Sadabahar rivers. Now this rivers passes through a giant gorge carved out of the erosional activity. So what is gorge? So see here. So basically gorge, you can say it's a narrow valley. So this you see that this is the narrow valley and the river is passes through the mountains. This is the mountains and river is passing through this mountain. So a narrow valley between the hills or the mountain with a steep rocky walls. So you can find this that these are the steep rocky walls. There is a steep because river cut down made its path from cutting of the rocks and that resulted into the channeling of the river. So this is the stream under which the rivers flow. So a narrow valley between the hills and walls of steep rocky system and a stream running through it. So this is called as gorge. So the rivers Himalayan rivers form giant gorge and they also form V-shaped valley. What is V-shaped valley? This is the example of V-shaped valley. Means here you can see that as it passing through the as it passing through the mountains between the mountains forming a V-shaped valley. So all the Himalayan rivers mostly form the V-shaped valley. You see that the V shape is forming from there. It comes the word V-shaped forming. Some important terms related to rivers you have to see in this. Okay, Himalayan rivers form deep gorge and form V-shaped valleys, also form rapids and waterfalls. So waterfall, I think we all know in Hindi it is called Jharna when rivers fall from a height. And what is rapid? So this is the rapid. Here what you see according to you. See, rapid means a fast flowing and turbulent part of course of rivers. So when the rivers is moving at a very fast and turbulent speed, that is called as the rapid. You see that large stone, big rocks are there in the path, means the river is cutting down the areas and flowing through this in a very fast and turbulent manner. That is called as the rapid. Okay, so Himalayan rivers are perennial. They have giant gorge. They have rivers, also forms V-shaped valleys, rapids, and waterfalls. So here, see, this is also showing the example of rapid. Yes, water is flowing through in a very turbulent place. Next, while entering the plain, yes, when they enter the plain, now suppose the river is come from the mountains to the plains. So their depositional features form flat valleys and oxbow lake, floodplains and braided channels. What is oxbow lake? So you see this is the river flowing channel, but it was sometimes in million years back, it was like this. But this part is cut off. This part is cut off from the main rivers. You see that this part was earlier the part of the rivers, but due to the depositionals and the winding of the rivers, this part has separated from the rivers, forming a lake known as Oxbow Lake. Why? Because it is like a oxbow. It's look like a oxbow in oxbow style. So that is why it is called as the Oxbow Lake. Okay. The river when it follow a winding course, when it follows a snake-like structure, it went into the plains that is called as the meander. So meandering is also one of the things which the strong meandering tendency of the rivers of Himalaya regions. So we in this Himalayan region also have the strong meandering tendency. Now river Kosi. is known as the sorrow of Bihar because it has been notorious for frequently changing its course. Why River Kosi? So let's see in the map where it is River Kosi. So you will find this river tributary of Ganga here written. See, it's written here. So this is the river Kosi. So it originates from here in Tibet and it comes to the region. It joined the Ganga in Bihar, and that is the reason it is called as the sorrow of Bihar because it changes its courses and resulting into the floods year on year. So this was about the Himalayan drainage system. जितने भी हिमालयन रिवर्स हैं वो पेरेनियल रिवर्स हैं. They form giant gorge. They also form V-shaped valleys. Rapids and waterfalls are common. Oxbow lakes and meandering is also characteristics of Himalayan rivers. I hope it is clear to you. Next here it is written that evolution of Himalayan drainage. So it was believed that first of all, there was no three rivers like Indus, Himalaya, Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra river. There was only one river in the Himalaya with the name of Shivalik or Indo-Brahma that transfers the entire longitudinal extent of Himalayas from Assam to Punjab and onwards to the Sindh. मतलब पहले there are only one river और उस river का नाम था शिवालिक और Indo-Brahma river. That reverse was there during the period of Miocene period means some 5 to 24 million years ago. This is a geological time scale mentioned in your chapter number 2 of Fundamental of Physical Geography. You can easily see that this geological time scale is divided and different pattern like Jurassic, yes, is divided. So many other periods are divided. So Miocene periods between 5 to 25, 24 million years ago, there was only one river and that river name was Indo-Brahma. Now, this river was the rivers which collect sand, silt, clay and boulders means big stones and conglomerate supports this views. What happened that due course of time, the Indo-Brahma rivers was dismembered into three main drainage systems. So what are the three main drainage systems? So Indo-Brahma rivers is drained out to three main river system. So first river system is called as the Indus. Okay, and its five tributaries. We will discuss that in detail. Don't worry. In the western part. So this is the western part. Then the second part was the Ganga river. So this is the Ganga river and its Himalayan tributaries in the central India or central part. So this is the central part. Third is the Brahmaputra rivers. So this is the Brahmaputra rivers which you see here and it Assam and its Himalayan tributaries in the eastern part. So this is the eastern part. So initially there was only one river which name was Shivalik or Indo-Brahma. It dismembered due to the course of time into three drainage systems. Why it dismembered? Due to the upliftment of this areas also known as Delhi Ridge. Delhi Ridge. So Potwar Plateau. So the upliftment of this area ultimately divided the water into water divide and created the watershed areas by which led to the formation of this system. And the Meghalaya plateau and the Rajmal hill, here you find a gap. Meghalaya plateau here, that is the reason the Ganga and Brahmaputra system diverted the flow to the Bay of Bengal. Okay, so this was about the evolution of Himalaya drainage. Initially, there were one river known as Shivalik or Indo-Brahma rivers that was changed into converted into dismembered into three different drainage systems, and due to the upheaval or upliftment of Potwar Plateau called Dilli Ridge, which acted as the water divide between the Indus-Ganga drainage system. I hope it is clear to you. Okay, next topic we will continue from next class. Thank you so much.